What's up, everyone? It's your boy Scott. Welcome to the Scott Report, and today we are here to talk about Tower of God, the long-awaited adaptation of the Webtoon and Manhwa, aka Chinese manga, that's being spearheaded by Crunchyroll as a Crunchyroll original. So this is a series that they're actively producing and that they're going to promote. And if things go well with this series, this can be a really big push for Manhwa in the future, so we can see more amazing Webtoons animated and adapted. But let's get on to this one because I've been waiting for this series for a very long time. And I like what I'm seeing so far. The hype has been real for this series for a very long time. I know myself, I've been hearing about it since about 2015, maybe a little bit earlier than that, and it's also a long-running webtoon, so it's a lot of content for them to adapt. It's clocking in at about 500 chapters, and it's still going. Guys, Tower of God is not only my most anticipated anime of the spring season, hell, this is probably my most anticipated anime of the year. Just like I said, I've been holding off on reading this for quite some time, but throughout the years, people have told me to brace myself for the twists, turns, and developments that this series is going to take, and that it's going to be a hell of a ride. So, coming into the first episode, what is it about, and how does it fare out? Let's get into that now. First off, I can tell you that they're probably BSing us with the overall premise of this series. I mean, it seems like a good introduction. You know, our main character, he is a young boy by the name of Bomb who wants to ascend this fabled Tower of God to find a girl named Rachel who saved his life. However, what I want to point out about this tower and the story overall is if you're brave enough to get to the top of this tower, you're granted a wish. So someone's about to go through all this just to find a girl. I mean, I'm just going to be a little bit pissed if that's the case. I mean, I know this isn't Rise of the Simp Hero, but I just hope Bomb will get more motivation to do what he's doing in this as things go on. There has to be a little bit more to it, so I'm very excited to see where this is going to go, especially with the hype train that's behind it. I want to go into this as fresh as possible, but you know, just off rip, I'm kind of looking like, this girl must have did something really amazing for him to want to ascend this tower in order to find her. And judging by the things that we've seen in the first episode, she really means a lot to him, so I understand. But come on, it gotta be a lot more to it than that. But off rip, I can tell you guys I am sold with Tower of God so far. I'm really digging the look and feel of the series. And you know, this is going to get really dark and possibly messed up. Spider senses is tingling on this one. It's just something about it. I don't know. I don't know if it's the art or the tone or me knowing that anything that deals with getting a promise is gonna go bad no matter how you slice it, because people that grant wishes are always twisted. I don't know, it just feels like something is gonna get real bad, or things are gonna get real quick in this tower. And it's almost in a sense of like it's a reverse made in Abyss, where the further you go up this tower, the harder it's gonna get, the darker it's gonna get, the crazier and stranger it's gonna get. And sign me up for that. But let's talk about Bomb just for a few minutes, and that might be the focus of the video because I have a few thoughts about him overall. I mean, at base, again, coming into the first episode, he's your average kid. I mean, he's fueled by determination to find this girl Rachel, and he's just all guts and glory, which you usually see like in shonen. I mean, there's nothing really to unpack or unravel there. I mean, he's a cookie cutter shonen protagonist for what we can see from the first episode, and I like his resolve. I sense that he probably is going to get a lot stronger. He's probably going to get a lot better. I mean, he has to be. I mean, the weight that is on this series, I'm looking forward to the development that he has. I mean, I don't know if he's going to get to like Kaneki type of levels from Tokyo Ghoul, but what we saw in this first episode is that he will do whatever it takes. He will take the risk to get the job done and to achieve getting up this tower. So it's going to be interesting to see how he grows and develops. But coming in from the very first episode, you know, it just seems just kind of basic or kind of fair, at least right now. And this kid's not even supposed to be here. I mean, we found out from this princess named Yuri, who is also in the tower, that Bam just kind of forced his way into the tower. But of course, he was still able to pass the trial and to advance to the next floor. You know, he had to take on this still ill creature in a very familiar way if you're familiar with things. And there are two types of people in this universe that we're introduced to. There's people that are regulars, which are just like Bond. And there's people who are irregulars like Princess Yuri, who we saw here. So, you know, it's two classes of people. Clearly, you know, regulars probably aren't supposed to be in the tower, or maybe they don't have what it takes to be in the tower. Going off of history, of course, a regular usually means that people have some type of special magic powers or some type of special abilities, and he's just coming into this as a regular guy. So you know the power-ups are probably going to come. It's just when you're dealing with power-ups, it's going to be more interesting of how they actually do it. Like, will it be progressive power-ups or will it be as full power-ups? And sometimes that can really make a difference. So Yuri lands bomb her blade once he gets to the gate, and he's told that he has to take down this ill creature and break this ball in order to advance. And this sword is super cool. I like the look of it. And just for his courage and his cuteness, she gives him the sword. Like, God, why not? Let's see what he can do. If he's worthy, the blade would grant him power. Well, he ain't worthy. It's just a regular sword. But his power within, his spirit, it was something within him, his resolve, and once again, his cuteness unlocked the power within this sword, who decided to grant him her strength. There was a spirit within it, and then he passed on to the next trial. He can go on to floor 2 to try to find Rachel, and that's kind of where my downsides of this series are coming so far. And again, it's not really in a negative way. It's just things that I hope gets better. So let's dive into that a little bit. I mean, I just hope it's more to Bomb as a character than what we've seen in the first episode. And I don't really want to harp on that because it is a first, impressions, and then we'll get into that later as a character develops, but I have to talk about it. I mean, twice in this very episode, this guy's advanced or made it to the next level or made some type of impression just because he's cute. I mean, I just hope this is the end of the dumb luck, and I hope it's more strength and determination and more of the overcoming side of things with this character. I know it's a little bit nitpicky, but just because he's cute isn't a reason for him to have a name tag in this tower so far. Well, of course, there's the whole main character and the hidden potential thing. I know we still have time for that. And the second episode is always the episode where things, start to open up and we dive into things a little bit more. I'm just hoping that it's a little bit deeper. It's a little bit more of a puzzle to why Bond is special. Off base value, Bomb is just a very one-dimensional character right now, but I'm going to stay positive that things will change, and as he goes up and up the tower is going to change him as well. Plus, I don't trust that gatekeeper thing with the staff. I don't know. It's just something that feels off about him. I don't really get QB vibes from Madoka Magica yet, but it's just something not right about this guy. And again, with this type of premise that we have, things aren't always what they seem. This is something about this entire situation of what we have, and maybe it's just the style and the artistic look and everything that this series has. It just gives me this uneasy feeling that something just isn't right. And I'm liking that they're not revealing it right away. It's keeping me interested and it's keeping me intrigued in this overall. So Bomb advances to floor 2 just off of courage alone. And when we get to this second floor, we find out that there are 400 people on this tower, and that number needs to get cut by any means necessary. So yeah, let the Hunger Games begin. And I know I'm all over the place with this video. It's going to take me a while to get back into the reins of covering something weekly. I know it's been quite some time, so bear with me while I get things in order. But I really want to go through this with you guys together. We're going to try to cover this thing weekly, go through it little bit by little bit, kind of build the style back and get back to the fun. But that's just the things that I noticed about Bomb as a character overall. It looks like things are really going to get real with the second episode, and that's what I'm looking forward to, because maybe now we're going to start to see more characters. We're going to start to get introduced to the cast a little bit more. These people that they showed in passing that's just looking on and smiling and just looking all types of crazy, and you wonder who they are. We're going to start to see them, and it seems like it's going to be some very interesting characters in this series. I mean, just off a glance of Yuri alone, she looks cool and I like her character already. Bomb needs some work. We saw some people that's going to come up. I know a lot of people have been hyped about the turtle guy. I think his name's going to be Rack. So it looks like it has interesting characters as well. I think we're going to see a lot of bonds. We're going to see a lot of backstabbing probably because, when it's survival of the fittest, someone's going to screw someone and try to get over. And I'm trying my best to avoid spoilers on this series, but it's just so intriguing that I want to know, this Rachel character, what's so special about her. Well, I mean, yeah, she saved Bond's life. I mean, that is a big thing overall, but it just seems like he has this sort of love for her that he just wants to find her, and I don't know what he wants. And that's the part that's driving me crazy, and that's the part that I don't want to spoil myself for, but at the same time, it's really hard waiting on this every week. And I also, again, I want to talk about the art style of this series too. Like with the Webtoon, as you watch and look at them from the earlier chapters and you go on to the later chapters, again, I didn't spoil myself, but I did take a peek a bit. You can see how it evolved. In this series overall, Webtoons are interesting because they're more like American comics or graphic novels versus manga. They're in color. They have a little bit more excitement to them because they're in color. It's the closest you're going to get to anime. And, they're quick reads too. You can probably just sit there and start reading and look up and you're 20 chapters in. So the animation itself is great, and it has a certain charm to it, like the certain aesthetics and looks that they have, like how sometimes like things reflect off of characters, or if they're in a certain setting, the character will be basking in the entire light or the background of the series. The animation itself isn't that great, but it just has little things about it that keeps you intrigued and charmed. And you know, like in most cases, it's something like this will probably get bashed by people because of the animation, because you know it was a little bit choppy here and there. It wasn't always the best, and I'm not the type of person that really harps on animation, but it was things that I did notice. But this world is so real and so interesting that I'm still tuned into it. And by any means am I a K-pop guy, but that opening is banging. I mean, these guys, Stray Dog, this group or whatever, Stray Dogs, I believe that's their names, they put their foot into this, and that was a hot opening. I pretty much can put it into opening of the season from what I heard so far, you know, from the snippets and things like that. But anyway, Tower of God, this is my first impressions of it. Overall, I do recommend it because it's very enjoyable. There are a few missteps here and there, but I think that's going to be fixed later on with the development of Bond. And I want to know what you guys thought about this as well. And I hope you guys come back, because the more traction I get with this one, the more I want to talk about it, because I think this is going to be something that's really going to knock everybody out the park, and it has the potential. It has the reputation coming in to be anime of the year, so I want to experience that with you guys. We're already locked in for 13 episodes, so I'll try to cover as much as I can. I'm going to go ahead and get up out of here. Again, always, second episode, this is the one I'm looking forward to the most. Episode 2 is when anime always open up. It starts building a world. It starts giving you the characters. It starts giving you more of their development and their motivations and the type of things that we're going to look forward to. So usually I'm more excited for episode 2 than I am from episode 1 of a season. So let me know what you thought about that as well. Also, please keep it spoiler free in the comments, because I want to experience this fresh. I think we all should experience this together. Even if you know, let your boy find out. Let him speculate. Let him hope a little bit. But that's it for now. So guys, as always, if you liked the video, go ahead and drop it a like. And if you want to hear more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, as there's not a shortage of content for you guys to indulge on this channel, even though it has been recently. So I'm going to have to find something else to put there instead. But anyway, as I always say, you guys can be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that. So thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.